What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming in. I'm going to take this one out so I can hear myself talk. First off, I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas. I forgot to say it on yesterday's live stream, but I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday and their Christmas time with family. Now that we're a couple days past Christmas, we got to get back into kind of the groove and the weather talk, right? Yesterday, we were talking about severe storms. Today, we're going to be talking about winter weather. And then I'll cover more on the December 29th severe weather system tomorrow morning before I hit the road and head south. But right now, what you're looking at is the HRRR, the future high resolution forecast model that's showing what could happen across portions of the Midwest going into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. So you see this low pressure system tucked back here and how it's bouncing around, but it's not dropping south. It's kind of staying its heading, right? So that's why the majority of this snowfall is going to stay right along this corridor and up through here, right? Pretty much your basic winter weather system for this time of year. But if this low pressure system were maybe down here and it kind of moving in this direction, you would have a lot more snow across this region. However, that's not happening. The reason why I bring that up, I'm going to move this over here. The reason why I bring that up is because I have a lot of friends, because I live in West Central Indiana. So I have a lot of friends that are reaching out and they're talking, okay, why aren't we getting a lot of snow? Well, it's because that low pressure system's hanging up a little bit north. Areas like Wisconsin, Iowa, Northern Illinois, and Michigan will see probably the heaviest portion of it. But this is the future radar showing what could happen tomorrow. This is simply just based off of one forecast model, but it's usually pretty accurate. So this is the region you want to be watching for snow. Now, how much snow are we going to get? Right, so using the same model and using the 10-to-1 ratio for accumulated snowfall, right? So what this means is when I say using the 10-to-1 ratio, I don't mean that this is exactly what's going to be on the ground when you wake up tomorrow or when you cut home from work tomorrow. This is not the amount of snow that could be on the ground, right? For the most part, the temperatures at the surface are remaining warm enough. You're probably not going to get a lot of sticking. It's probably going to stick more or less up north up here and not so much down in this region, only because of that surface temperature. I'll actually show you, we'll get that here in a second, but you can see areas like 4.5 here in central Wisconsin and even upwards of 4 to 5 inches up there in Minnesota. And then as you get a little bit further south, it kind of lowers out. But then you have a little pockets of 6.2 that actually been surprisingly consistent. We'll see if that verifies. That might just be a model discrepancy, but you're getting 6.2 inches in like the south of Kankakee or even the Champaign-Urbana region in Illinois. Let's slide over and I'll show you the surface temperatures. We'll look at dew points first. So you see dew points remaining in the 30s. Oops, I'm pulling a sounding. Dew points remaining in the 30s across. And then you have, of course, the green and everything down here. That's from your severe weather threat tomorrow. That kind of cuts off the warmer dew points. And then you get in your 30s and 40s mixed into this region. And, of course, getting colder as you go up north. But look at the surface temperatures here. And this is exactly what I'm saying. The likelihood of any snow sticking is pretty low. Of course, look how cold it is. First off, look how cold it is up in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota. Whew, negative 26 degrees up there in the intersection of those states. That's incredible. Very cold. That's without wind gusts. That's just basic temperature. You're looking at negative 26 degrees in parts of North Dakota, like the Fargo area. But more importantly, when we come back here and we're talking about snowfall in like the Chicagoland area, here's your cutoff pretty much, right? That's your freezing line cutoff. And anywhere that snowfall falls within the warmer area that's above freezing has a less likelihood to stick. Now, the ground itself might be warm enough for snowfall to stick a little, more like grassy surfaces and vehicles and things of that nature. But the likelihood of roads piling up is very, very, very low, and that's probably not going to happen. But then you get like the Chicagoland area, 36, Indianapolis, 39 and 40, 39 in Champaign-Urbana. The likelihood of any snowfall sticking in the 6-inch range, like some of these forecast models are saying, is probably not too likely right now. Switch over to NAM real quick, and I'll show you the difference between the two forecast models. These are same time, right? Same time. And you notice how the snow kind of stays north, and then all of a sudden you get these 7 inches piling up into 6 inches, right? That's why it's really hard to forecast snow. Just, I mean, you got two different models for the same time showing two different things. I don't see that happening at all, especially with those surface temps. But actually, what we'll do is hop back over to her. Let's go to winter weather, and I'll show you snow depth. Where am I at here? Total accumulated snowfall. That's just a change in it. So here we go. So the more likelihood of that actual accumulation remains, again, like I said, way up here, right? Across Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa. And then you get further south when you're like, okay, it's still showing 2.3 in the Champaign-Urbana. If that's probably because the HERS showing like 7 inches of snowfall. So of course you're going to get the computer thinking there's going to be actually accumulation there, but you're only getting like 2/10 to 3/10, even up to a half an inch across central Indiana. That's if that system drops that far south. If it doesn't drop that far south, you're not going to get anything in central Indiana. You're barely going to get anything in the Chicagoland area. Chicagoland, a little over an inch of accumulation expected. So when you're looking at forecast models for snowfall, that's often missed, right? You'll see a lot of Facebook posts, and I say this because I see it every day. Before every big snow event or even tornado event, sometimes you will see Facebook posts coming from pages talking about a foot of snow. Oh my goodness, we're going to get a foot of snow. It's going to be a deadly blizzard, etc. They don't actually break down weather forecasting to actually give you more accurate reading. They just pop up this model and think, oh my goodness, there's going to be 7 inches of snow across Northeast Indiana, Northwest Ohio. When the case is probably not going to happen. So, this is the COD showing the low pressure system a little bit better, hovering over Southwest Iowa at 998 millibar. Again, stays there, doesn't drop south. If it were, like I said, down here, maybe in like the Wichita, Kansas region, it was pushing kind of like this, where you get a lot of good snowstorms that do that. The low pressure will kick across southern Indiana into Ohio, and then you'll get just massive amounts of snowfall across Illinois and Indiana. This is not the case this time. This one's staying pretty much right here and then just kind of driving this direction. That's why you're going to get the heaviest snowfall in this region. And really heaviest snowfall is being used lightly because there's still not a lot of snow that's expected to come down, right? But I know people were talking about it. Like I said, I've seen Facebook post in regards to it, saying, oh my goodness, foot of snow is coming. I've seen forecasts for January 10th. It's December 27th, and there's pages out there talking about a foot of snow on January 10th. Well, we don't know that. It's way too early to forecast that. Like ridiculously too early. Like no one should even be talking about that, especially how sudden weather changes, right? I mean, 1 minute it could be showing 2 inches here. The next day it's showing nothing. So you can't really forecast something that far in advance. But you'll kind of see the pattern that this system takes. There's your low pressure system back here, like I said earlier, and then it kind of just bounces around, but it's bouncing around like this. And that's why the heaviest snowfall is right along that line all the way through there. And that's why as soon as you get south of that low pressure system on the southeast side, that's when all your mixed precipitation and your really heavy rainfall too. Don't rule out some maybe flash flooding in this region through here. Central to southern Indiana, central to southern Illinois for some flash flooding tomorrow, as well as mixed precipitation. It's gonna be cold outside, in the 30s. Not as cold as like North Dakota, where it's looking at negative 27 tomorrow. But let's hop over to the Weather Prediction Center, and I will show you what their thought process is tomorrow. So let's go and pull up their map here. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. So this is the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center. Okay, they're the ones kind of behind forecasting big events that are outside of like tornadoes, hail, and damaging winds, as well as hurricanes. They don't forecast hurricanes. Well, I mean, they kind of do, but they don't. These guys are responsible for like the heavy rain, heavy snow, freezing rain, things like that. And so we're going to kind of zoom in here on that area we're talking about. This is for today. So here's your cold front right here, draping down across Kentucky. Let me go up. Let's go to Tuesday, December 28th, okay, the day we're talking about. Zoom up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so freezing rain is actually a concern tomorrow as well. So this purple dashed section is your freezing rain potential, right? It's not uncommon to see it freezing rain. So here's your low pressure system. So we were talking about in the forecast model earlier, just a couple minutes ago, it was back here. Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's going to kind of drape across southern Iowa. It's going to make a run for like the Chicago area. And then all your heavier snowfall and freezing or heavier snowfall will remain north. Your freezing rain gets really close to that low pressure system because there's a lot of mixed precipitation going on. So it's interacting with the rain and the cooler air. So it creates little frozen little droplets, and that's how you get freezing rain. Not terribly uncommon in winter events like this. Even in like the bigger systems, when you get multiple inches of snowfall, you still see freezing rain right along that low pressure line. And then south of it, in this green shaded area, is where your heavier rain is going to be. So they actually have the freezing rain potential going pretty far south. Actually, I think that's about right, but pretty much going down right across here, hitting the Springfield region, and jumping up through maybe like the Covington, Indiana, north of Indianapolis, all the way through north of Columbus, Ohio. Anywhere in this purple region is your mixed precipitation, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get all kinds of snowfall. You're going to have a little bit of rain mixed in. And the reason for that is because of the temperatures, right? So anywhere in that purple shaded area, the temperatures aren't cold enough to pretty much be straight snow, right? Temperatures are too warm, it kind of melts before it gets to the surface. And so that's when you get, okay, you got snowfall up top. Some snowflakes are big enough to hit the ground, others aren't. So you get a mix of big snowflakes coming down, and then you have a mix of rain also coming down. So that's where you get mixed precipitation. And then up here, right along this line, is where they're expecting that temperature cutoff to be. And then anywhere in this white, you're getting the snowfall. Of course, definitely could get snowfall anywhere up in the Fargo, North Dakota area with the negative 26 degree temperatures. But that is what the Weather Prediction Center is calling for right now. This is their latest update. This is the best forecast graphic I can show you because it's the most accurate one. It's coming straight from the National Weather Service. Anybody who forecasts storms, snowstorms in particular, that maybe kind of exploit people's fears and kind of put like the foot of snow coming down January 10th, definitely need to learn how the Weather Prediction Center uses their their forecasting, because you can come right on here a day before an event and it pretty much tells you, right? Let's go to the next day just for fun. So here's the next day, December 29th. Now this is forecasted like this because the event from the 28th, from tomorrow, could transfer into the overnight hours and into early Wednesday morning. And then, of course, as it moves northeast, it's still going on Wednesday afternoon. So any storms that were back here are moving this direction through the overnight hours. And that's why now we have freezing rain right in front of that cold front, draped across east central Indiana, including Indianapolis, and then is diving all the way up into like the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or north of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania region, up there near Lake Erie. So that's just kind of moving east as the day goes on, and that's not uncommon with snow systems. And then it's still got mixed precipitation all tucked back in here for that very reason, but then right out in front of that cold front would probably be actually Wednesday afternoon moving forward. So a lot to think about. I mean, I know people were kind of waiting on snow events. Unfortunately, we really haven't seen much snow yet. It's not really uncommon for this area, especially if you like. I got messages from people from like Southern Illinois and even Kentucky, like, "Hey, are we gonna get snow?" Like, "Hey, you live in the South, sometimes you can't win them all." And there's actually a severe thunderstorm threat even down there as well going into Wednesday. So pretty weird stuff happening. We can actually race south a little bit, and here is your um, severe thunderstorms possible risk on Wednesday. That's what I plan on chasing unless I change my mind. But Mississippi, Alabama, I'll be going to Huntsville to team up with my chase partner, and then we're going to shoot probably into Mississippi. I would guess for the chance to see some potentially photogenic tornadoes on Wednesday. So a lot to talk about, but I just want to cover tomorrow's snow potential because I know everybody's talking about snow and I wanted to talk about it. So, but if you guys have any questions, make sure you ask them in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel as well. I'll put it up right here. Boop, boop, boop. Subscribe to the channel as well. It helps me out a ton. My channel is pending right now on monetization, so any views or anything helps me out a ton. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.